Today, again, this is our Encore webinar. We have Randy Cochrane with United Credit Education Services. After we did a webinar, well, Randy did a webinar with us a couple of weeks ago. We had an overwhelming response of a lot of real estate agents and investors and brokers saying that they found this information very valuable. A lot of people miss that webinar. It always happens, it only happens at a certain time and you're not available. Really by popular demand here, we're doing another webinar with Randy Cochrane. He's a busy man. He's a real estate broker, and he's a credit repair specialist and financial education specialist. So we're really glad that he found time for us, for Realty Procs and for our agents, to do another webinar and explain how you can fill your buyer's pipeline easily with really little effort and with any money, no advertising budget whatsoever. I've known Randy for a while in the sense that we would meet in different real estate events and conferences, and I will admit I was a little bit skeptical of what exactly he does. He's a real estate broker, but how all that credit education part ties in, and once I got into, well, if I was a real estate agent, I would definitely do exactly what he's doing, because this is just a brilliant marketing. I was just not paying attention. So again, I guess a big takeaway for all of us is just pay attention to all these things that there are around us. Sometimes extra minute or two you spend on learning something new, or just literally paying attention could bring you a lot of new business and clients. A very brief introduction, just a few sentences about Realty Procs. For those of you who are new, Realty Procs is an enterprise-level, web-based real estate transaction management software. We mainly deal with short sales. As you probably know, short sales are kind of making a comeback right now. We definitely see that. And so it's a free web-based system that organizes your short sales, connects all the parties involved in the short sale. And on top of it, Realty Procs is affiliated with our sister company, National Closing Center, which is a physical processing center located in Oak Brook, Illinois. And they work with all the major metropolitan areas and states in California and in Florida and New York and you name it. So they process short sales for every state, for every major state at least. And that's a good thing, that it's not just technology. That's what differs. That's how Realty Procs differs. It's not just technology, which is, by the way, free, but it's also a processing service. So all we have to do is really just create your free account at realtyprocs.com, submit your first short sale, have somebody else do all the document collection, all the processing, all the dealing with the bank, and just watch, relax. And again, there's a big difference between companies that take that weight off your shoulders and do everything for you, but you don't really know what's going on. The big difference is Realty Procs is very transparent, and you know exactly what's going on with each and every of your short sales. Every step, everything is online, everything is web-based, and all the parties are equally involved and informed. So with that being said, thanks again for attending this webinar. Now I'm going to turn this over to Randy Cochrane with United Credit Education Services, and he's going to tell you a lot about credit repair, credit restoration, just a lot of general financial education information that is really useful. So again, welcome Randy, and I'm going to transfer controls to you and mute myself.
Wonderful. Okay, hopefully everyone can see my screen and you can hear me. If for some reason you can't, type into the chat box, and we'll get that fixed. But special thanks to Realty Prox and Vladis for having me back for an Encore presentation. Hopefully everybody has a pen and piece of paper handy. We're going to cover a lot of stuff today. It's going to be fast. It's going to be furious because I know your time is valuable. But we're going to show you how to fill your home buyer pipeline or your seller pipeline, sell an additional 6 to 12 more homes per year for free without spending $1. On the screen is my contact information, so you can write it down. Again, my name is Randy Cochrane. My toll-free number is 1-800-480-1917, extension 0, 1-800-480-1917, extension 0. You can also email me at ucsorg@gmail.com with any questions when we conclude today. Just a little bit about me. I'm going to put this up on the screen. I'm a real estate investor. I've been investing since the early 90s. I was also a mortgage broker for just over 10 years. I own a very large mortgage company. I'm a continuing education instructor in the state of Utah. I was a founder of Zoom Loss Mitigation, and I'm also an associate broker in the state of Utah and the designated broker for Equity Arizona Real Estate in Arizona. Currently we have 4 offices open in Arizona. We have another 3 offices just getting ready to open. We should have 35 open by the end of the year. Really excited about that. And I'm also a national sales director with United Credit Education Services. And this is a program that I implemented into my core business about 4 years ago. And I'm going to show you today exactly how I did that. And we're going to talk about really the marketplace today, what's going on, especially if you're in the default marketplace, because you're working with Realty Prox and short sales. We're going to talk about a few things to think of so that you can go out and maybe get some listings that other agents didn't even know were available. And we're going to talk about some consumer misconceptions about credit. We're going to talk about the problem, and then we're going to give you the solution on how to fill your home buyer pipeline. We're going to show you how to generate tons of online leads and really ultimately do some more deal. Today's webinar is about making money, and we're going to show you how to do that, again, without spending $1. But let's talk about the marketplace, what's going on out now. Whether or not the lenders are actually loosening their lending guidelines. And so to just start today's webinar, one of the hottest topics right now at the events that we're doing around the country, we're here in Tucson next week, we're in Scottsdale next week, we're in Las Vegas the first week of April for an event there, we're in Southern California the following week, we're also in Utah that week. And the hottest topics right now at these events that we're doing live nationwide are the home equity line of credit loans that are now ballooning, that are 7 to 10 years old, where our homeowners can't actually go out and refinance because they're still underwater, but their second notes become due, or the individuals that participated in HAMP or the loan modification 1 or 2 years ago, depending on when they closed their loan modification, their interest rates are starting to adjust. And we just started seeing this happen really last month, where we're seeing consumers' their payments on their homes go up over, on average, $200. So they're going right back into default at a faster pace than what they went into before. But now there isn't the solution available because they're already on a loan modification and they're back into a re-default. And so the 3rd and 4th quarter of this year are really going to bring back a wave of short sales again. And it's going to be really interesting to see how the lenders deal with this next round of defaults. So today's market realities, lots of people still losing their jobs, lots of people still losing their homes, lots of people have lost their savings, their investments, and their retirements. And it's unfortunate as real estate agents that really we're now more like their counselor. In fact, I joke around in my office about changing my business card, the title on it, from real estate agent to real estate psychologist, because most of the people that we're still talking to on the phone today are still in some state of distress. They're in pain, they're crying, and they have no hope and nowhere to go. So What's going on out there? Well, 58% of the population doesn't pay the balances on their credit cards in full every month, and the average U.S. credit card debt's over $17,000, and those with more than $20,000 in credit card debt are likely to miss payments and see interest rates skyrocket in plummet. Another thing that a lot of people are talking about is student loans. When the market crashed, everybody went back to school because they lost their job. They either got a 2- or a 4-year degree. Well, all those people have come back out in the marketplace now. They've gotten jobs, but now their student loans are no longer deferred and becoming a major burden. And that's one of the things that's really inhibiting a lot of our potential home buyers from purchasing a home. About 25% of the population has a 599 credit score below. That's 36.5% of the nation's prospective home buyers don't actually qualify to buy a home. Well, if you think about that, that's 1 out of 3 people that we're working with right now doesn't qualify to buy a house. Whether you have it listed or whether you're the buyer's agent, this is a major issue for us. And it's interesting because DS News in January of this year published an article that was talking about what it actually takes to get a loan in today's current marketplace. And the average Ellie Mae loan in December of 2013 had an average credit score of 737. Now that was down from December of 2012 where the average credit score was 748. So you can see that lending has loosened up a tiny bit, but also interest rates have gone up a little bit. So the yield for a lender, when there's more yield, they're willing to take a little bit more risk. Now, there are lots of programs that are now emerging back in the marketplace. Of course, FHA has the FHA Back to Work program, and applicants that had a short sale, bankruptcy, or foreclosure that's just over a year old can participate in that program. But what I found most interesting about the articles that I've read is in September of 2013, according to Ellie Mae, the average FICO score of a person that was denied a mortgage loan was, if a mortgage lender has a 640 credit requirement to go FHA, or maybe 620, or maybe 580, depending on the lender, even if the credit score is over that, if the average person that had a 696 was the one getting denied, a person still might not get that loan, even if they have good credit and a decent credit score. So studies have shown that over the course of a lifetime, having less than excellent credit can cost a person over $200,000 in interest. And we're actually going to show you an example of that today from an article that was published in MSN Money. About 80% of all credit reports have errors on them, causing lower credit scores, and about 83 million people don't even know what their credit score is or what's currently on their credit report. And the reason why is it changes every month. You know, usually somebody doesn't find out that their identity was stolen until they go to make a major purchase, and then the damage is done. It's just too late. And then about 64% of employers use credit scores as a factor in determining who they'll hire, or in some cases whether or not they'll get a promotion. A very good friend of mine works for a company that they're basically headhunters for bank vice presidents and presidents. And you would be shocked how many of those individuals, because they pull their credit, don't qualify for a significant six-figure income position because they have something on their credit that's being reported negatively. So how much we pay in interest for a mortgage, a car, a credit card, a security deposit, how much homeowners insurance costs, and I actually found this really interesting, how much we pay for our car insurance. I have a very good friend of mine that's also a real estate agent that is an insurance agent as well, and he told me not long ago that if you have less than perfect credit, so below a 750 credit score, that your auto insurance rates are going to be higher than if you had 2 speeding tickets with your company. So, you know, technically you can be a reckless driver and get a better rate than if you had poor credit. So one of the things that we're going to do today is we're going to give you free stuff, because I know I like getting free stuff. So the first free thing that we're going to give you today is a free copy of your credit report. And if you have your pen out, write down annualcreditreport.com. You can go down there. The Fair Credit Reporting Act allows us to get 1 free credit report from all 3 of the credit reporting agencies every year. But when you go there, don't pull all 3. Just pull 1 and then stagger that out every 3 or 4 months so that you're always getting a free copy of your credit report throughout the year so that you can monitor whether or not something's coming on your credit. Now, one of the things we want to do is talk about consumer misconceptions about credit, because it's unfortunate, but those are the conversations that we're now having with our clients. So misconception number 1, credit agencies are empowered with some type of governmental authority. And credit agencies actually have no legal authority at all. They are simply multi-billion-dollar companies that are their job is to sell our credit information. Misconception number 2, credit agencies are required by law to keep derogatory items on your credit report for 7 to 10 years. And again, there's no law that says that credit agencies have to keep anything on your credit report. Now, there are statutes when it comes to reporting things on a person's credit, but there isn't anything that says that something can't be removed. It's impossible to have a bankruptcy, short sale, or foreclosure deleted from your credit report. And again, those items can be deleted just like any other derogatory that's being incorrectly reported. It's obsolete, it's erroneous, it's misleading, it's incomplete, or the keyword here cannot be verified or verified in a timely manner. So the nature of the item has nothing to do with its removal. Misconception number 4, the information on your credit report cannot be changed. And it's really, again, the opposite is true under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. If an item is not 100% accurate or can't be verified in a timely manner, it's coming off your credit report, even if it's being reported correctly. It's illegal or immoral to have the information on your credit report altered or removed. Not only is it not illegal or immoral, but it's what the Fair Credit Reporting Act is all about. There are times when things get reported on people's credit that are not theirs, and it's lowering their credit score, and the result is they're paying more money for everything that they do. But the credit reporting agencies are reimbursing that individual monetarily for making that mistake. And so it's our right to dispute everything. Misconception number 6, paying a past due debt removes it from your credit report. And just because you pay something doesn't mean that the creditor is going to report it correctly or re-report it again, because again, creditors on people's credit. Inquiries are not derogatory and will not affect your credit score. And really anything that hits your credit can erode your score. A derogatory or be the derogatory item. An inquiry is a rated item, so it will lower your credit score approximately 4 points every time your credit's pulled. Actually saw a friend on social media on Facebook posted last week they applied for a mortgage loan online, and their credit was pulled 13 times, and it lowered their credit score to the point where now they don't even qualify to purchase a home. So they were pretty frustrated and upset. Misconception number 8, if you get a derogatory item removed, it will just come back. And if it's removed legally with cause, it's not coming back on. There are a couple instances where things do get deleted from a person's credit report when they come back on their credit. The first one is in the form of a collection. If a collection is removed from a person's credit report and it is then sold to another collection company, it may re-report again under that new company's name. And we see that happen all the time. We recently had a client that went through our program that had 4 collection accounts on their credit for the exact same collection, but it just kept getting sold from one company to the next. That was killing their credit score. Also, bankruptcies. Bankruptcies report more than once. They report at the time that you file and the time that you discharge or dismiss. And so, let's say somebody's in a Chapter 13, it's a 60-month plan. We could be deleted from their credit report 36 months into the program. 24 months later, when it dismisses or discharges, they're going to re-report that again. But what we're looking for is that window of opportunity to get them into home ownership. If I pay my bills on time, I'll have excellent credit. And just because you pay your bills on time, that only makes up 1 out of 5 components of your credit scores we're going to show you here today. But what it really comes down to, and this is our biggest problem right now, is the lack of financial education. I know when I was in high school and college, I wasn't educated properly in finances. Most of us learn about finances through the School of Hard Knocks and making mistakes and saying, well, I'm not going to make that mistake again. And one of the purposes and reasons for today's webinar is we're here to provide some education. And it's one of the things that I'm passionate about because it's our next generation. They're the people that are going to be taking care of us when we get when we get elderly and later on in life. They're the next wave of our economy. And we work very, very closely with the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation. They're a foundation that was founded to educate the youth, grades 5 through 9. They have a money management certification program that's a phenomenal program. I recently took this program into my daughter's school. I was able to take them through an 8-week financial literacy management course. At the end of the program, they get a pizza party. We donated $500 to their school, and it set me apart from all the other real estate agents in my marketplace because the teachers in that school had never seen anything like it before, and shockingly, they didn't even have a curriculum like this. And so it's a phenomenal program. In fact, the real estate company that I'm with, we provide this service to all of our agents free of charge for all their children that are grades 5 through 9 at our company, where they can go into our digital real estate classroom every quarter, take an 8-week course for free, and we're educating our agents' children on finances and how to be financially independent. So let's jump in and talk a little bit about credit before we show you exactly how we're going to help you fill your home buyer pipeline, do 6 to 12 more deals this year. But the big three, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax, are all, again, privately held billion-dollar companies. They don't verify items placed on people's credit reports. They pay fines every year for failing to update files correctly. And they don't make money correcting credit. They make money selling credit files to big industry. So think about Bank of America and the robo-signing. Now, they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. They wrote a big check because they're too big to fail. They got that slap on the hand, and they're back still making billions of dollars and still doing the same thing to consumers that they did before. Now, as real estate agents, if we did that same thing that they did, we'd all lose our licenses. We'd all be in jail right now. And so the credit reporting agencies, they're too big to fail. It's the exact same thing for them. They don't care. They'll just write that big fat check. So what are the effects of a bad credit on the consumer? This is the example in MSN Money that I had mentioned. This is Emily and Karen. They're two friends who both borrowed the same amount of money over their lifetime. Each one got a $20,000 private student loan to help with college. When college was over, or during college, they received their first credit cards. They carried $8,000 balances on their cards over the years. They bought new cars after graduation and then replaced them every 7 years until they bought their last cars at age 70. Each one bought their first home with a $300,000 mortgage at age 30. Then they moved up to their trophy home of $400,000, turning 40. And then they each took out a $50,000 home improvement loan to remodel the second home. However, the biggest difference is Emily had a credit score of 750, which is considered good to excellent credit. So 750 and above is going to get the very best terms, conditions, and interest rates, while Karen had a 650 credit score, which is considered fair to poor depending on the lender. And over the course of their lifetime, it cost Karen over $201,712 in additional fees and interest and penalties for having that lower credit score. So just 100 points can make a huge difference. That's almost the price of their first home, half of their second home. That can make a huge difference when it comes to retirement. So the effects on consumer for having less than perfect credit, they have low self-esteem, they feel ashamed, they feel powerless, they feel overwhelmed, and they feel like they have no hope or opportunity. And as real estate agents, I'm sure you've had that short sale seller that didn't want you to put the sign in their yard because they were embarrassed that they had to sell their home as a short sale. So what's the solution? Well, it comes back down to education. Education is the key, and credit awareness is on the rise, and we need to share this information with our clients because it's important for you to be an advocate and a source of the valuable information. So you can't turn on your radio in your car and not hear an advertisement for a buy here, pay here at a car dealership, debt management, bankruptcy attorney. There's something about credit on all the time. Also, the Fair Credit Reporting Act is something that everybody needs to know about. We're not going to go through that today, but you should download that. If you have trouble sleeping at night, that's a great thing to read. It's kind of like reading our state-approved real estate contracts. That'll put you right to sleep. But the effects of credit score, the facts are, it measures whether a person's moving towards or away from bankruptcy or default. Scores are damaged by the most recently reported derogatory information. Information that's reported prior to 2 years can impact your score the most, and the actual scoring system itself has 88 negative rating factors and only 5 positive rating factors. So when you think about that, there's 88 ways for things to go wrong with a person's credit score, and only 5 ways for them to go right, which is absolutely crazy. So here's how long items stay on a person's credit report, which we need to know because it affects their ability to buy. Bankruptcies, Chapter 7, 11, and 13 stay on a person's credit for 10 years. Collections stay for 7 years. Public records stay for 10 years. And inquiries stay for 2 years. Now, here's some credit scoring factors that you can your payment history. 30% is the amounts owed. 15% is the length of their credit history, 10% is new credit, and 10% is the types of credit used. it's unfortunate, but if a person does not use credit, they end up having no credit score. We have a gentleman in our program right now, in our Positive Credit Builder program, 62 years old with no credit because he's retired. He has plenty of money. He hasn't used credit in years, but he went to buy that second home and needed to get a loan and didn't even qualify because he had no score. So when a person is looking to restore their credit and they have judgments, collections, and liens, it's important that if they pay those, that they reflect a satisfied, paid, and released. But it's also important that if somebody has a lot of collections or debt, they may want to consider our program first, because what that does is, if they have $8,000 worth of medical collections, for example, and they can enroll in our program and we can get those collections deleted from their credit, then they might not have to pay those prior to getting into the home. Now, just because something comes off a person's credit report doesn't eliminate the fact that they owe the debt. It's not a get out of debt free program. So higher credit score advantages: obviously consumers can obtain loans faster, credit decisions are fair, older problems count for less, they get more available credit, interest rates are lower overall, and again, there's more money available for them to make their major purchases. Here's what's not in your credit score, which I found really, really interesting. And for those of us that have recently taken a fair housing continuing education class, that's basically what's not in your credit score: your race, your color, your religion, your national origin, your sex, your marital status, your age, your salary, your occupation, your title, your employer. So, it doesn't matter if you're a doctor or not. That's not going to affect your credit score. Your date employed or your employment history, where you live, any interest rate being charged on a particular credit card or account, or any items reported like alimony, child support, separate maintenance, a bankruptcy. Let's say that somebody's in a Chapter 13 bankruptcy and they're paying all of their payments on time. They're not getting credit for that, and they should be. Also, same thing with the rentals. If they're renting an apartment or a home and they've been making payments on time for 24 months, that's not showing up on their credit. However, if they stop paying and they go delinquent, then all of a sudden it shows up on their credit report as a derogatory or a default. So somebody could pay their child support on time for 2 years, miss a couple payments, and have that go on their credit report and just crush their credit score. So the Fair Credit Reporting Act gives Americans the right to dispute or investigate any item on their credit report, even if it's being reported correctly. So that's inaccurate, erroneous, obsolete, late payments, charge-offs, foreclosures, judgments, repossessions, tax liens, collections, short sales, medical bills. Any item can be removed or reflect to show paid as agreed, because the burden of proof is on the credit reporting agencies, not on the consumer. So the biggest misconception number 10 is, I can't restore my credit on my own. And yes, you can. You can attempt to do it yourself, just like you can represent yourself in a court of law, or just like a person could sell their home as a for sale by owner. But we all know as real estate agents, that's not a great idea. They're much better off to hire us, help us get the home sold faster for a higher amount of money, and also navigate them through a very, very complicated legal process. So, individuals, consumers out there just need to allow experienced professionals to help them. So, if everybody will grab a pen and a piece of paper, if you don't already have one, I want you to write down this website. It's www.united-credit.org. That's www- like in a phone number, credit.org, united-credit.org. And this is United Credit Education Services, and this is our website. There's a couple things in particular that you'll want to do after the webinar. You'll want to go to that website. There's a video tab on the top right-hand corner. You can click on that video tab, where you can send your customers or your clients there, have them watch that video about credit, United Credit Education Services, and how their company works. But more importantly, there's a login button on that top right-hand corner, which is where we monitor our customers' progress while they're in this program. So, and we don't expect the real estate agents to do this. We expect their lending partner to do it, because they're the ones that really know what their programs are and how soon our clients are going to qualify. And what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to put tons and tons of people into this pipeline that are just going to start popping out really every month, where you can have 2 or 3 pre-qualified buyers that you can go out and show and sell a home to. Now, if you don't work with buyers, that's fine. If you're just a listing agent, that's great, but refer them to an agent in your office. Get the referral fee. But when I found United Credit Education Services, it was almost 4 years ago in April, and there were three things that I was looking for. The first thing, I was looking for a nationwide company. I was looking for a company with a Better Business Bureau rating, and I was also looking for a company with a money-back guarantee, because I didn't want to refer my clients to somebody and have go out of business, have it affect me in a way that wasn't positive, because I always wanted to be referable. And so United Credit Education Services has been in business over 11 years. They're completely debt-free, because that's what they do, is they teach people about debt and finances. So it's very important to them that they have zero debt themselves. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. They've served over 200,000 clients. Just last year alone, they helped over 19,000 people get their credit back on track. They offer customized dispute letters, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week online customer access to their portal. And again, that's where our mortgage brokers and lending partners that we work with can go in with their permission and monitor their progress. They have credit coaches available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So you don't have to be a credit expert, and we don't expect you to be, because we have those credit coaches available for us, and they have a 100% satisfaction money-back guarantee, and I'm going to share with everybody how that works here in just a moment. But once somebody becomes a customer or a client with United Credit Education Services, they can log in, they can see their initial credit score. There's also some important document downloads, and the really neat thing about this company is that if somebody's getting collection calls, they can stop them. And if they're getting harassed by creditors and the creditors won't stop harassing them, they can refer them to attorneys that they work with that will actually go out and sue the creditors for being the debt collection practices on behalf of their clients for free. In addition to that, let's say that somebody's enrolled in the program and there's things on their credit that are definitely not theirs, and the credit reporting agencies will not take them off. If after the third round of letters they don't take those off, they'll also refer them to the attorneys, and the attorneys will sue the credit reporting agencies and get our clients a settlement. And the average settlement's over $1,000. And so once a person's enrolled in the program, they can go in, they can see what's currently in dispute, what's been deleted, and what's still in process on their credit dispute cycles. Again, this is also where the mortgage broker or lending partner can go in and see exactly what's going on, so that they can really determine when they get them back to us. So what would it be worth to have excellent credit? Well, there are companies out there that charge as much as $5,000 to do what United Credit Education Services does. The closest competitors typically charge around $1,200 to $1,500 a year, and these companies don't have anywhere the track record, documented results, length of time in the industry, or offer a money-back guarantee. And so United Credit Education Services, their annual program, it's 5 rounds of letters with all 3 of the credit reporting agencies. So each round of letters takes between 45 and 60 days. It's a limited number of derogatory items deleted from a person's or disputed from a person's credit report, and that comes with the 100% satisfaction money-back guarantee. So the results are everything. I went to united-credit.org this morning. I went to their testimonials page. I downloaded their success rate. As of today, it was over 721,000 items deleted from people's credit reports. That's simply phenomenal. So I've been advertising now for almost 4 years. Buy your home with me and we'll fix your credit for free with this program. This is the best thing that I've ever done for my core business, because I basically took people that couldn't qualify to buy a home that everybody else was ignoring in the marketplace and showed them how to do it. And what that resulted in was a lot more referrals. And of course, I'm not upfronting any money for anybody to enroll in this program. All we're simply doing is having our customer enroll, and what they do is they send me a copy of their receipt from their enrollment in the program. I have them execute my buyer-broker agreement, depending on what's on their credit, based on what my lending partners told me on how long it may take them to qualify. I'm either getting a 12-month or a 24-month buyer-broker agreement with them right there, so they're locked into using me. And then from there, when I put that in their file, and then when they actually qualify and buy and close on a home, I'm simply giving them a broker credit out of my commission for their investment in their credit restoration program. So it's simply a phenomenal program. I also tell consumers when I'm working with them on their short sales, sell your home with me, we'll also fix your credit for free. Because if I'm competing for a short sale listing, especially if it's a significant dollar amount, I'm willing to make that investment in my client, because Again, I don't want to be one and done. I want to be able to help them get into another home as quickly as possible. So let's also talk about tripling the traffic at your open houses. All you simply need to do is when you're doing open houses, and I know a lot of agents do them and a lot don't, that's okay, but when you put your open house sign out, put a starburst on your sign or put a sign rider on it that just says bad credit okay. Because when you think about it, if you're in an open house, would you rather have 10 people walk through your open house or 30 people walk through your open house? Well, we'd rather have 30. And so if those of us that have read Ray Kroc's book that founded McDonald's, we know that he wasn't in the business of flipping hamburgers, although that's the product that they sell. Ray Kroc was really in the real estate business, and where he made his most wealth was putting the McDonald's buildings on the real estate that he owned. And so for us as real estate agents, you know, we list and sell homes, and that's great, but ultimately our job is lead generation, because the more people we can talk to, the more leads we have, the more business we're going to do. If we go out and find somebody to talk to about buying or selling real estate, we're out of business. And so I would much rather talk to the 30 people versus the 10. And we recently had a real estate agent with our office here in Arizona did an open house with his mortgage lender on a Sunday. They were sitting in the open house. They had the sign writers on their open house signs that said bad credit okay. They had a couple walk in the home. They walked through, the agent said, what do you think? And they said, wow, we love this home. We would love to buy this home. But, you know, the only reason we really came in your open house was because it said the bad credit was okay. We think we have bad credit. And the lending partner said, well, let me look. So he pulled their credit. Their credit score was a 689. They qualified to buy the home right there. So the real estate agent wrote the contract, ended up getting both sides of the transaction. The loan officer did a great loan, but it was the perception of the consumer that they had less than perfect credit when they really didn't. Because, you know, sometimes people, their credit card payments are due on the 1st, but because they pay their rent or their house payment on the 1st, they pay their credit card payments on the 20th, they think they have bad credit, and they don't, because they're really in reality not 30 days past due. So make sure that you're taking advantage of that program. I just wanted to share with you some of the marketing tools that I use with this program. So I have sign writers on my listings. You can see we have a We Fix Credit sign writer that we use with an IVR call capture. We found it interesting because when we put it on our real estate signs, people sometimes will call that before they'll call because they don't want to talk to an agent, and they don't perceive that it's the agent that they're calling. And so we're using that sign writer to generate more leads. You can also see my real estate sign there. This is one of my Utah signs, obviously not one of my Arizona signs, that has a sign writer that says We Fix Credit, has a link to our website, just plays a brief video about credit and how our program works. But you can use this program for your property signs, your marketing flyers. So if you're marketing a property, you can put your property information on the front. You can put your credit information on the back. You can link it to websites. I have all my websites linked together between the credit restoration video that we have available, and that way when somebody goes there and thinks, you know, I really want to buy a home, but I don't think I can, you're sending a different message because you're not saying no. You can use bandit signs, car magnets, business cards, and I use additional lead capture systems with this program that I wouldn't normally have available. So our VIP seller recovery program, and this is something that I always talked about when I went on the short sale listing, and if we're all going back on short sale listings in the 3rd and 4th quarter, this is something that you really need to be talking with your clients about, because when somebody sells a home as a short sale, they are moving. It's a guarantee they're moving. And so in lieu of a foreclosure. So ask yourself this, over the past several years, how many people do you know that have sold their home as a short sale, modified their home loan, did a deed in lieu, or have a foreclosure on their credit? Well, that's a huge pool of people that you can go right back to right now and say, I was on a great webinar today, and I found a new program that I think we can use to help you get back into home ownership, and it gives you an excuse or a reason to call. Also, generating tons of online leads, Craigslist. When you put your properties on there, just put bad credit okay. Some conditions apply, because there are conditions. You know, if somebody wants to enroll in our Buy Your Home With Me, We'll Fix Your Credit for Free program, the conditions are, 1, you enroll in the program, 2, you sign my buyer broker agreement, and 3, you got to buy a house if you want your money back. Because if you don't do those 3 things, then you're not really participating in the program. And so make sure that you're being open-minded when it comes to your marketing, because again, all you're trying to do is generate that lead. You can refer your clients to us and fill your client pipeline. First of all, you can simply email their name, number, and if you have their email address, that's great, but you don't have to. You can email that to ucesorg@gmail.com. Now, to refer your clients to us is completely free. You can just email us their contact information. We will contact them on your behalf. We're going to edify you as a phenomenal real estate agent, and once they enroll in the program, we're going to email you the receipt. And at that time, you're the one that chooses whether or not they're participating in the Buy Your Home With Me, We'll Fix Your Credit for Free program. Because we have lots of agents that just simply refer their clients to me. We put them in this program. They go out and sell them a home. They never reimburse them because they never brought it up. But we will email you the receipt so that you can get your buyer-broker agreement signed with them, get them locked into you. We'll also work with your preferred mortgage or lending partner. We don't want your loans. We're not in the business of doing loans. So all you need to do is include your mortgage lender's contact information. We'll contact them. We'll show them how to monitor your client's progress. Lots of mortgage lenders out there tell people every day, yeah, send your clients to me, I'll fix your credit. Well, guess what? They never do that. I ask agents that all the time. They go, well, I got a guy, or I got a gal that's, that I refer my clients to. I go, great. How many of those people are you getting back? And usually they think about it for a minute and they go, well, none. Well, of course, our mortgage lending partners are not credit specialists. They don't make money fixing people's credit. They make money doing loans. They don't want to fix credit. And so let United Credit Education Services do that. Now, repeat this with one person every single week, because 52 weeks in a year, that puts 52 people in the pipeline. Well, we see results in as little as 45 to 60 days. And so all of a sudden, you're going to have 2 or 3 people popping out every single month. How to be to wake up every single month knowing that you're going to have 2 to 3 or 4 pre-qualified buyers ready to go out and buy a house that month. That's what this program does. And I recently had a client that wanted to buy a home. The mortgage lending partner pulled their credit. They had a 613 credit score. We needed a 640 to go FHA. Within 45 days, between 45 and 50 days, they were a 737. They were out in contract on a home. I know this program works because I've been using it now for almost 4 years, and that's one reason why I'm so excited and so passionate about it. So one of the things that we're doing is just for taking time and being on a webinar today, if you have friends, family members, clients that want to enroll in this program, we're going to give you a little bit of time to reach out and talk to them today and tomorrow. But if they enroll in our program by midnight tomorrow, we can save them $100 off our annual credit restoration program. That's, again, approximately 1 year's worth of service, unlimited derogatory accounts disputed. They need the discount code, which is RealtyProx 31114. That's RealtyProx 31114 in order to take advantage of that $100 savings by tomorrow midnight. And of course, that still comes with the 100% satisfaction money back guarantee. So there are some additional clients that we have available. Number one, LifeLock identity theft protection. If you have a home buyer in contract and their identity stolen, it's going to kill the deal dead in its tracks. LifeLock identity theft protection is $1 million, up to $1 million worth of coverage. With us, it's a $99 investment or $9 per month for the year. So basically, a person can protect their identity for as little as 27 cents per day. Ultra Score is for somebody with little, with little or no credit, or somebody that has lower scores and no derogatories. They can enroll in Ultra Score. Ultra Score is a $149 investment. They get to work with a credit coach for a year. I had a client that enrolled in the Ultra Score program. They had a 694 credit score. Within 120 days, they were a 798. Phenomenal change in their credit. And then we also offer a program called Debt Zero, which is fantastic for our home buyers, especially home buyers that want to qualify for more home than what they can afford. I had a client enroll in this program. They were in the credit restoration program for 14 months before they could qualify to buy, but over that 14-month period of time, when they originally entered the program, they could only purchase 160. At the end of the program, they actually bought 230. So it was win-win-win for everybody. The home buyer got a much nicer home. We got a much higher commission because we sold a more expensive home, and the loan officer did a much more expensive loan. Now, as I mentioned, to refer people to us, it doesn't cost anything. One thing that we do let everybody know is we do have an agent affiliate program available. If you like what you've heard today and you're interested in learning more, you can go to www.agentaffiliate.com. There's some orientation videos there. You can just watch them in order. Take a look at those, and then you can contact my office. Let me know what you like most about what you see and how you maybe envision and implementing this into your business. I've taken this program. I'm out doing home buyer workshops right now for real estate companies, for mortgage companies, and in fact, we just did 2 home buyer workshops for Chase Bank. Invited us to come in. They marketed the whole event to their Chase Bank customers and allowed us to come in and talk about credit. So the affiliate program benefits, you get a personal website, you get marketing materials, you get free training and coaching, not only from me, but some other experts with our company that have been in the real estate and mortgage business as well for a long period of time. And in fact, one of them, one of our trainers, he's actually been with this company now for over 9 years. There's other additional marketing opportunities that you might not have available through any other way, because now you can market differently on Craigslist than everybody else in your marketplace is marketing. You can market through Facebook and LinkedIn social media. If you want to implement the YFL program and reach out to your community and do some community events, that's going to be different for you than, again, what everybody else in your marketplace is doing. You receive additional real estate referral company. And so if somebody has less than perfect credit and they go out and they buy a home from you and they invite all their friends over to their housewarming party, guess what all their friends have? Their friends have bad credit. And so they say, how did you get this house? And they say, well, you know, you got to call my real estate agent. There's also additional business revenue available for you. And in addition to that, you can get all the services for yourself. So, you know, if you've had some bumps in the road, if you need some services, this is a great way to get those for yourself and get them for free. So, you know, one of the biggest things that, biggest obstacles we have as real estate agents when we have our sign in a yard is a home buyer drives by our sign and they pick up the phone and they call us and they say, how much is this house? And as a real estate agent, we say back to them, well, let me look up the most current information on that property for you. While I'm doing that, are you calling on a home for yourself or for somebody else? And they say, well, I'm calling for myself. And you say, fantastic. Are you working with a real estate agent? They say, no, I'm not. You say, great. So right now we're doing pretty good. But then you ask them the magic question. Have you been pre-qualified for your lending? And you hear that long silence on the phone. And then you say, what's going on? And they say, well, you know, I talked to a mortgage broker, a mortgage lender, and they told me my credit score was 550 and I needed a 640 to get a loan. And in most cases, the real estate agents go, well, the mortgage guy you talked to was right. Or the mortgage guy you talked to was right. When you get to 640, call me back. Click. Well, all we want everybody saying now is, no problem, we have a program for that. Get them to your lending partner, have them pull their credit, you know, or have them go to annualcreditreport.com, pull one credit report, and if they don't like what they see, have them contact us. So again, if you want to refer your clients to us, just email their information to ucsorg@gmail.com. We'll contact them on your behalf. Also, if you have customers or clients that may be interested in this program, we are doing a live customer webinar tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time where you can invite your customers to attend a webinar. All we're going to talk about is how they can get back on their feet, get back into home ownership. It's called Credit in the New Economy. And if you have customers that want to participate in that program, simply email us at ucsorg and in the subject line put customer webinar registration, and then just include their name, their phone number, and their email address, and we will get them registered on your behalf for our webinar tonight and then let you know how it goes from there. So what I'd like to do is turn the time back over to Vladis. We'll answer any questions that you may have. I'm sure some questions have come in. You know, typically one of the first questions that I know we're going to get is, can I get a copy of this presentation? And again, absolutely, if you email us at ucsorg@gmail.com in the subject line, put copy of presentation, we'll email out a complete copy of this presentation to you so that you have it and you can refer back to it. So Vladis, you want to jump back in and we can answer any questions anybody might have?
Sure. Thank you, Randy. Thank you so much. This was a wonderful, wonderful webinar. And you are right. Quite a few attendees here asked about PowerPoint, so that question is answered now. Another, I believe, popular question is, can a husband and wife enroll for $4.99?
That's a great question, and typically what we do if we have a husband and wife or spouse or significant other that want to enroll in the program, instead of enrolling them at $4.99, especially if you're participating in the Buy Your Home with Me, We'll Fix Your Credit for Free program, you know, we want our real estate agents putting out as little amount of money as possible as a broker credit at closing. We want to help you save some money, and so typically what we'll do is if they both enroll at the same time, we'll give them the $100 savings. So the most that you'd ever have as a broker credit coming out of your pocket at closing would be $800 or $798. And you know, for some of us, we're able to split that with our lending partners, depending on their lending partners' guidelines. So I'd reach out to the mortgage person you have available and say, hey, you know, if we run this program, you know, is this something that you're willing to do? And a lot of mortgage lenders that we have participate in this program because, you know, frankly, you know, they have tons of customers or clients in their trash can that they can pull out, put in this program, and then give back to a real estate agent as a pre-approved buyer that they might not normally have available to give to an agent otherwise. So, I mean, I love it when my mortgage lender calls me up and says, you know, hey, I've got this customer. If I give them to you and you sell them a home, will you just give them a $500 broker credit at closing because I enrolled them in this phenomenal program and I'd like to see them get their money back. You know, if I'm that real estate agent, you know, if my commission was $6,400, I'm easily willing to give up $500 to get a client that I would have met. So absolutely, we'll work with your clients. And if they don't have $499 or $399 available now, we do have a couple different payment plans available that we can try and plug them into so that we can make it as affordable as possible to help them get back into home ownership.
All right, thank you for that answer. Short sale specific question. How long ago does a short sale need to have been completed so it can be removed from credit?
And that's a great question. It is really as soon as the short sale's completed and reported on the credit report, we can go to work on it. If somebody's had a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, as soon as it's discharged, we want to start working on it. If somebody's had a Chapter 13 bankruptcy, as soon as they've had their meeting of the creditors, we want to start working on their credit. So, you know, the whole secret or the whole key is not to wait, because there are loan programs out there right now where you can actually buy a home one day after the short sale takes place, or you have the back to work program with FHA where it's 1 year. But the thing about credit is if you don't do anything about it, the longer you wait, the longer you wait. And so the whole key is to get into the program as quickly as possible.
All right, another question. I was told that if you close credit cards, that goes against you. I heard it both ways. What is the truth here?
And the truth is, and this is where the credit coaches with United Credit Education Services really can really benefit our clients, is they have all that knowledge and that education. Sometimes if a person has too much credit card debt, it may actually help their score to go get another credit card and move some of that money over. We just recently had a client that paid off an auto loan and their credit score dropped. It didn't go up, even though they paid it off, it didn't go up. You know, some of the things that we do when we help people reestablish credit is they need 3 positive trade lines. So a lot of times, you know, the credit coaches are advising our clients while they're going through the credit restoration process to go out and open up a gas card for gas, open up a card for food, open up a card for entertainment, and put a little bit amount of money on those cards every single month and then pay them off to help improve the score. But every situation is different, every client's different, and that's why we want our credit coaches being able to pull their credit, look at their portfolio, and then give our customers the advice. Because remember, as real estate agents, we never want to be the source of the information. We always want to be the source of the source. That way we're always keeping our licenses.
I like the way you phrased it. That's just brilliant. Another question here. Earlier in the webinar, he mentioned that I guess you mentioned that about free credit report. Would this affect credit score? I guess the question is, would checking your free credit report, downloading your free credit report affect your score?
That's a great question as well, and it does not, because it's a report that's generated from annualcreditreport.com. It does not affect your score because you're entitled to one free report every year, and they're not providing you with a credit score. And this is where it gets really fuzzy and really gray out there, because there are lots of different types of credit scores. And so, for example, you're going to see myfico.com, creditkarma.com. A lot of these credit monitoring websites that literally lure people in to get a copy of their credit report, saying that they're going to give them their credit score, and then they charge them for that. And when you get that score, that's that company's score. That's not the actual FICO score. And again, there's different types of scores. It just depends on the creditor and what type of service they're subscribing to. So, for example, you'll have an individual go into a car dealership to pull their credit. Well, what they're getting is their auto score. Well, they'll see their auto score and they'll go, wow, my credit score is a 650. I can go buy a house. And the mortgage lender pulls their credit and they're a 620. Well, one's a real estate mortgage score and one is an auto score, and therefore they're different. So be really cautious when you're looking at scores, because they can be different. And, just go to annualcreditreport.com. Don't pay these other companies to see your score.
Great. Another question. Where do we email our client's name again? So I guess that's the email on the screen right now. Is that correct?
Correct. ucesorg@gmail.com. And then my toll-free number at my office is 1-800-480-1917. That's 1-800-480-1917, extension 0. Anytime we do the webinars, we always get a flood of calls to our office. In fact, my staff just sent me an instant message that they had somebody on hold and that they were going to take a message because they still knew that we were on the webinar. But, send us an email with your questions. Call our office. If we don't get to them right away, if there was questions that people asked that are specific situations that pertain directly to them, that are personal and confidential, we'll get with you at some point in time today. Be patient. But we'll definitely get all your questions answered. We'll help you with all your clients. We'll help you fill your home buyer pipeline. Again, if you're interested in our agent affiliate program, learning more about that, go to agentaffiliate.com. Take a look at the orientation video, and then just watch for a follow-up email from us for any additional questions. But the whole key, again, fill your home buyer pipeline. Get those 52 people in the pipeline so that the same time next year you have 24 people that you can go out and help buy a home.
Okay, awesome. I don't see any other questions in our questions panel box here. So again, as Randy mentioned, don't hesitate to contact him directly or his office if you do have additional questions. Then again, what I like about the organization is that nobody is pretending to be wizard, that they know everything. They have departments, they have different people, they have different roles. So that's great. They have people who actually work on credit restoration, and they have customer service folks. So it's just really solid organization. So and always Randy is very approachable, and I don't know how he does it, but he does pick up his phone. So somehow he finds time for everybody. So again, thank you, Randy. Thank you for everybody who attended this webinar. As I said, there's no more questions right now, but don't hesitate to reach out to Randy Cochrane. And this is Realty Procs. Obviously, if you have any questions pertaining to Realty Procs, reach out to us at info@realtyprocs.com, info@realtyprocs.com, or go to realtyprocs.com and create your free account. Thanks again, everybody. Thank you for staying the entire hour with us. Have a good day, everybody, and take care.